Begins in wars, others to Mary Magdalene even, and the secrets of Rennes le Chateau, that's Holy Blood, Holy Grail, a book, that very modern book. Others saw the Grail not necessarily leaning towards heresy or paganism, but a half-covert leaning towards Christianity and paganism. They find a Grail vision in the ocean voyages of Odysseus, full of strange islands, sea monsters, and countries of eternal youth, and his journal home to the true source. The ambiguous world of the Grail is not some utopian way, but a world of high ideals, a point of direct contact with spiritual, transcendental, and supernatural realms. In its full Christian form, it becomes the token of a special divine friendship, a special closeness to God. However, the Christian church neither confirmed nor denied its position vis-a-vis the Grail. The Grail seeker encounters the things of eternity through his senses with an assurance denied to normal existence. The desire to seek it is a teleological human yearning inherent in human soul. Teleological, I'll explain the thing. It is wired in, there for a reason, like everything else that is. The 12th century was the age of great phenomena, such as chivalry, for example, which was a complex shift in the status of women and male attitudes towards religious change. It pervaded society. The growth of devotion to the Blessed Virgin, with immense investment of money and labor in church, building for her tremendous Gothic cathedrals across Europe for no exactly graspable rational reason. What heightened the glorification of Mary reflected a sense of something lacking in the masculine church, and that this had more than a touch of nostalgia tending toward a re-enthronement of female divinity as worshipped in past ages, so far as theology allowed it. The ancient cauldron was in female custody. Poets called Grail the Mother of God. The church once had its golden age in the apostolic purity of the first centuries. Corruption had overspread it, but scripture and continuing witness of a few who kept the faith made it feasible to restore the pristine righteousness and begin fresh. Human beings create myths in the same sequence. First glory reigns, then eclipse shadows it, followed by a recovery. Pure primitive Christianity in the eyes of Luther lay crushed under the corrupt church, but the spirit of the apostles would be reborn. Bones of contention whether the derivation of Grail lore is from either Eastern or Western sources, but what is seldom attempted is an approach which seeks to reconcile the two. The dual origin of the harmonizing influence of the Grail reminds us that from reconciliation of opposites came restful repose and the recognition of the true self. The simple powers of the Grail images demonstrate how it may be achieved. To meditate on the symbols of the Grail is to activate them. Once activated, they become signposts in our own quest, pointing toward a personal point of harmony and reconciliation with one's source. Wolfram von Eschenbach's description of the Grail as der Wunsch von Paradies, the wish for paradise, excelling all earthly excellence, desire and yearning for a higher state of existence, necessitate a quest for the secret realm easily associated with the immortal dead. Qatar citadel of Montségur haunts the Pyrenean peasants. Even today, taxi drivers around Foix or Montségur talk about Grail's treasure hidden in the mountains nearby, and a dove descending from heaven every now and then on Good Friday. The way of the Grail is acceptance of self, recognition and acceptance of the shadow as well. It can be recognition of hidden unity between East and West, the yin and the yang, male or female. Grail might just be a grand idea worth seeking. Of course, there comes the attack by rationalists and reductionists who attack such thoughts. They point out Bacon, Newton, Descartes, Leibniz, and what they call the heralds of real reality. Do they know that those geniuses, as well as earlier alchemists, explored the Grail vision in the esoteric as well as in the rational? Those early scientists realized that theirs were just different ways of looking at reality and did not contradict each other, but stood, end is coming right now, two pillars back in connected by the ark Grail. Well, maybe, why ever not? For some, the Grail is a chalice that will bring everlasting life for others. It is the quest for lost documents and secret history. And for most, I suspect the Holy Grail is simply a grand idea, a glorious, unattainable treasure that somehow, even in today's world of chaos, inspires us. As stated before, it can be quite close to where we are. That is a little way along the road, over the bridge and to the right. Or, like an unknown Grail seeker said, it is closer than our jugular vein. Of course, the reductionists and rationalists who see only the so-called material objective reality, devoid of intuitive, will lack the notions in reply. I like to end with a quote: "Let your respect for the things of the hidden God be shown in knowledge that comes from the intellect and is unseen. Keep these things of God unshared and undefiled by the uninitiated." Well, that's it. I could go on forever. I mean, this is a subject that is never ending. This is just a peek through the keyhole. But I wished we had that. I had some pictures, but show must go on.
Thank you very much, Al. Thank you for going with the technological challenges that came. You did a great job.
Always have a plan B.
We're all seeking the Grail, I guess.
Yeah.
And, we'll continue to do that, and as